Bolinda Audio presents this recording of Play School Rainy Day Stories.
Hello, I'm Andrew.
Hello, I'm Leah.
Hello, I'm Rhys.
Hello, I'm Justine. We're going to tell you some rainy day stories. The first story is James and the Rain. James and the Rain. James pressed his nose against the pane and saw 1,000,000 drops of rain. The earth was wet. The sky was grey. It looked like it would rain all day. James had a very yellow coat that buttoned to his chin. He had a pair of rubber boots to tuck his trousers in. He took a big umbrella from the big umbrella stand. He buttoned up his yellow coat and looked extremely grand. He opened his umbrella with the handle made of cane. He pulled his yellow hat down tight and stepped into the rain. James ambled through the wet green grass under the wet grey sky. The rain rained everywhere he went, but James stayed warm and dry. Out in a meadow of clover and grain, a cow munched her lunch and gazed at the rain. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "I do," said the cow, "for I love the rain and the sound it makes on the leaves and grain." Then James and the cow stood side by side, and the rain came down on the cow's brown hide. "Cow," said James, "if I'm not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 2 ducks. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "We do," snapped the ducks in small short quacks. "We love the rain as it falls on our backs. We flap our feathers and flitter around, making a rackety-quackety sound." Then all of them flitted and gave loud quacks, and the rain rained down on all of their backs. "Ducks," mooed the cow, "if I'm not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 3 toads. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "We love the rain," croaked the 3 fat toads, "and the puddles of mud that it makes in the roads. From puddle to puddle we scuttle and jump. We land in the mud with a thud and a thump. Come jump with us all." So they all of them jumped. They all of them scuttled, and all of them thumped. "Toads," quacked the ducks, "if we're not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 4 birds. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "Well," said the birds, "when it rains, we soar up to the clouds and a little more. We seek and we search, soaking our skins, to try and find out where the rain begins." So all of them tried to soar to the sky, but only the birds got a little bit high. "Birds," croaked the toads, "if we're not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 5 dogs. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "Oof," said the dogs, and began to bark. "We love the rain. It's a marvellous lark.
We crash and we splash, and we slip on stones. We scurry and hurry to bury our bones. We stick out our tongues as we scamper around and drink down the rain with a glunking sound. So all of them stuck their tongues right out, and the rain was so cold that they had to shout. "Dogs," chirped the birds, "if we're not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 6 rabbits. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "Oh," said the rabbits, and nibbled their lettuce. "We like the rain, if it doesn't wet us. We race in the rain, right out of our hutches. We run so fast that the rain can't touch us." So everyone raced with their might and main, trying to dodge the drops of rain. But nobody did. Then the dogs barked, "Rabbits, if we're not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 7 mice. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "Oh," squeaked the mice, who were terribly shy. "We like the rain, if our ears stay dry. We pick red flowers out of their beds and wear them as hats to cover our heads." Then they all picked flowers just like the mice and wore them as hats and looked very nice. Then the rabbits peeped, "Mice, if we're not wrong, it might be nice if we strolled along." So they strolled along till they met 8 cats. "What do you do in the rain?" said James. "Do you have any excellent rainy day games?" "Meow," mewed the cats. "We like the rain and the sound it makes on the window pane. But best of all, as the wind howls higher, we like to sit by a roaring fire." So they went inside and sat by the fire. The rain came down and the wind howled higher. And that is the end. It rained and it poured. They all fell asleep, and all of them snored.
Sometimes pigs, goats, cats and dogs go for a ride in a boat. Ready for a story called Mr. Gumpy's Outing? Mr. Gumpy's Outing. Mr. Gumpy owned a boat and his house was by a river. One day Mr. Gumpy went out in his boat. "May we come with you?" said the children. "Yes," said Mr. Gumpy, "if you don't squabble." "May I come along, Mr. Gumpy?" said the rabbit. "Yes, but don't hop about." "I'd like a ride," said the cat. "Very well," said Mr. Gumpy, "but you're not to chase the rabbit." "Will you take me with you?" said the dog. "Yes," said Mr. Gumpy, "but don't tease the cat." "May I come, please, Mr. Gumpy?" said the pig. "Very well, but don't muck about." "Have you a place for me?" said the sheep. "Yes, but don't keep bleating." "Can we come too?" said the chickens. "Yes, but don't flap," said Mr. Gumpy. "Can you make room for me?" said the calf. "Yes, if you don't trample about." "May I join you, Mr. Gumpy?" said the goat. "Very well, but don't kick." For a little while they all went along happily. But then the goat kicked, the calf trampled, the chickens flapped, the sheep bleated, The pig mucked about. The dog teased the cat. The cat chased the rabbit. The rabbit hopped. The children squabbled. The boat tipped. And into the water they fell. Then Mr. Gumpy and the goat and the calf and the chickens and the sheep and the pig and the dog and the cat and the rabbit and the children all swam to the bank and climbed out to dry in the hot sun. "We'll walk home across the fields," said Mr. Gumpy. "It's time for tea." "Goodbye," said Mr. Gumpy. "Come for a ride another day." The Owl and the Pussycat went for a ride in a boat, a pea-green boat. The Owl and the Pussycat. The Owl and the Pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The Owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. "Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are. What a beautiful pussy you are." Pussy said to the Owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried. But what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows, and there in a wood a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon, and hand in hand on the edge of the sand they danced by the light of the moon, they danced by the light of the moon. The Owl and the Pussycat went for a sail on the sea. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a sea in your bedroom? There's a sea in my bedroom. David was frightened of the sea. It was a huge wet monster that gobbled him up, knocked him over, turned him upside down. He didn't like the sea, not at all, not one bit. But he liked collecting shells. He had fan-shaped ones, some that looked like trumpets, and some that looked like curved animals' teeth. They were yellow and grey and pink and purple. Then one day he found a conch shell. It was shaped like a pear, brown on the outside and orange inside. "That's a very special shell," said his father. "If you put it against your ear, you can hear the sea inside." How could the big scary sea get inside a small shell, wondered David. But he pressed the shell against his ear and listened and listened. Then he heard the sea. It was soft and growly and friendly. David wasn't scared of this sea. Not at all. Not one bit. He took the shell to his bedroom and put it on the chair next to his bed. He felt sorry for the sea. It couldn't enjoy being trapped inside the shell. Perhaps he could let it out, just for a short while. It was such a friendly sea, all soft and growly. He stroked the shell and whispered, "Come out, sea. Come out. I won't hurt you." He waited and waited. Nothing happened. Then he heard a swish-swishing noise and the sea rushed out of the shell. It curled around his toes, foaming up his legs, and beat gently against the bed. David was getting wet, but he didn't mind, not at all, not one bit. He flopped down in the water and kicked his legs and splashed. He rode in his toy box, floated on his back and did somersaults. 1, 2, 3. All around him, his toys bobbed in the water. His red tugboat, his yellow wooden duck, and his blue striped seaplane. He scooped handfuls of foam. The bubbles disappeared quickly in his hand. He laughed and laughed and laughed. His mother and father heard him and called, "What are you doing, David? What are you up to?" David jumped into the waves, then came up for air and shouted, "Mum, Dad, there's a sea in my bedroom. I'm jumping in the waves. I'm getting all wet." "A sea in his bedroom," said his father. "A sea in his bedroom," said his mother. "What is he doing?" They opened the bedroom door and peeped in. There was David swimming on the floor with his toys around him. But there was no sea at all. David sat up. He touched his trousers and shirt and his hair. He was dry. "There was a sea," he said. "There was. A soft, growly, friendly sea. It lives inside the shell. It's gone back now." His father smiled. "It's not a real sea," he said. "It's just a noise the shell makes when you put it against your ear." But David knew there had been a sea in his bedroom. There was even a small pile of sand underneath his chair. "Look there," he said. "Look there. I'm going to keep it always. I'm going to put the sand into a jar." "Shall we go to the beach tomorrow?" asked his father. "You can go swimming in the sea." "Yes," said David. "That would be fun." He would take his kickboard, his snorkel, and his bucket and spade. He wasn't frightened of the big sea anymore. Not at all. Not one bit.
This is a story about lots of rain. Big rain coming. On Sunday afternoon, old Stephen nodded to the dark clouds spreading in the south. "Big rain coming," he said. But on Monday, there was no rain. The night was so warm, Rosie's kids dragged their beds outside to maybe feel some breeze while they slept. On Tuesday, there was still no rain. The panting dogs at Roberta's camp dug themselves dusty holes to keep cool. Wednesday came, and still no rain. The children swam in the billabong after school. The water was warm and still. By Thursday night, there was still no rain. The fat green frogs huddled around the leaky tap on the rainwater tank. Then on Friday evening, the thick grey clouds over the hills were echoing with thunder. "Big rain coming," said Stephen. But there was still no rain. On Saturday, there was rain. Wonderful, cool, wet rain.
I hear thunder, hark don't you, pitter-patter raindrops, I'm wet through, so are you. I hear thunder, hark don't you, pitter-patter raindrops, I'm wet through, so are you.
Ducks like swimming in water. Quack, quack, quack. This is a story about a dog called Hairy Maclary and a duck called Zachary Quack. Hairy Maclary and Zachary Quack. It was drowsily warm, with dozens of bees lazily buzzing through flowers and trees. Hairy Maclary decided to choose a space in the shade for his afternoon snooze. He dozily dreamed as he lay on his back, when pittery-pattery, skittery-scattery, zip! Round the corner came Zachary Quack, who wanted to frolic and footle and play. But Hairy Maclary skedaddled away. Over the lawn and asparagus bed went Hairy Maclary to hide in the shed. He lurked in the shadows, all dusty and black. But pittery-pattery, skittery-scattery, zip! Round the corner came Zachary Quack. Out of the garden and into the trees jumped Hairy Maclary with springs in his knees. He hid in the grass at the side of the track. But pittery-pattery, skittery-scattery, zip! Round the corner came Zachary Quack. Down to the river, through willow and reed, raced Hairy Maclary at double the speed. Into the water he flew with a smack, but pittery-pattery, skittery-scattery, zip! Round the corner came Zachary Quack, who dizzily dived in the craziest way, whirling and swirling in showers of spray. Hairy Maclary was off in a flash, a flurry of bubbles, a dog paddle splash. He swam to the side and floundered about. He tried and he tried, but he couldn't climb out, scrabbling upwards and slithering back. When pittery-pattery, skittery-scattery, zip! Through the water came Zachary Quack, who sped round a corner and, showing the way, led Hairy Maclary up and away. Then, soggy and shivering back up the track, went Hairy Maclary with Zachary Quack. It was drowsily warm, with dozens of bees lazily buzzing through flowers and trees. Hairy Maclary decided to choose a place in the shade for his afternoon snooze. He dozily dreamed as he lay on his back, tucked up together with Zachary Quack.
Five little ducks went out one day, over the hills and far away.
Mother duck said, quack, 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 quack.
But only 4 little ducks came back. 4 little ducks went out one day, over the hills and far away.
Mother duck said, quack, 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 quack.
But only 3 little ducks came back. 3 little ducks went out one day, over the hills and far away.
Mother duck said, quack, 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 quack.
But only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went out one day, over the hills and far away.
Mother duck said, quack, 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 quack.
But only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went out one day, over the hills and far away.
Mother duck said, quack, 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 quack.
But none of those 5 little ducks came back. Old Mother Duck went out one day, over the hills and far away.
Mother duck said, quack, 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 quack.
And all of the 5 little ducks came back.
Hey Justine, what do you get if you put 10 ducks in a box?
I don't know, Rhys.
What do you get if you put 10 ducks in a box?
A box full of quackers. Get it? Whack, whack, whack.
Danny wants to find a birthday present for his mother. Ready for the story? Ask Mr. Bear. Once there was a boy named Danny. One day, Danny's mother had a birthday. Danny said to himself, "What shall I give my mother for her birthday?" So Danny started out to see what he could find. He walked along and he met a hen. "Good morning, Mrs. Hen," said Danny. "Can you give me something for my mother's birthday?" said the hen. "I can give her an egg." "Oh, thank you," said Danny. "But she has an egg." "Oh, well, let's see what we can find then," said the hen. So Danny and the hen skipped along until they met a goose. "Oh, good morning, Mr. Goose," said Danny. "Can you give me something for my mother's birthday?" said the goose. "Oh, I can give you some nice feathers to make a fine pillow for your mother's birthday." "Oh, thank you," said Danny. "But she has a pillow." "Oh, let's see what we can find then," said the goose. So Danny and the hen and the goose all hopped along until they met a goat. "Good morning, Mrs. Goat," said Danny. "Can you give me something for my mother's birthday?" said the goat. "I can give you milk for making cheese." "Oh, thank you," said Danny. "But she has some cheese." "Oh, well, let's see what we can find then," said the goat. So Danny and the hen and the goose and the goat all galloped along until they met a sheep. "Good morning, Mrs. Sheep," said Danny. "Can you give me something for my mother's birthday?" said the sheep. "I can give you some wool to make a warm blanket for your mother's birthday." "Oh, thank you," said Danny, "but she has a blanket." "Oh, well, let's see what we can find then," said the sheep. So Danny and the hen and the goose and the goat and the sheep all trotted along until they met a cow. "Good morning, Mrs. Cow," said Danny. "Can you give me something for my mother's birthday?" "Moo! Moo!" said the cow. "I can give you some milk and cream." "Oh, thank you," said Danny. "But she has some milk and cream." Then he ran through the woods and he skipped down the hill and he came to his house. "Guess what I have for your birthday?" Danny said to his mother. So his mother tried to guess. "Is it an egg?" "Nope, it isn't an egg," said Danny. "Is it a pillow?" "No, it isn't a pillow," said Danny. Is it a cheese?" "No, it isn't a cheese," said Danny. "Is it a blanket?" "Nope, it isn't a blanket," said Danny. "Is it milk or cream?" "No, it isn't milk or cream," said Danny. His mother could not guess at all. So Danny gave his mother a big birthday bear hug.
Do you like to have a cuddle when you go to bed? Here is a story about some baby animals going to bed. Nighty Night. One evening, as the sun was going down, the baby animals played and wouldn't stop playing. So Mother Sheep, Father Duck, Mother Hen, and Father Pig called, "Come on, everyone! Off to your beds now, little ones." "Nighty night, my lovely lambs," said Mother Sheep as she went to tuck her little ones in. "Cheep, cheep, tricked you," said the chicks. "Oh, you cheeky rascals, you're not my lovely lambs," said Mother Sheep. "Sweet dreams, my darling ducklings," said Father Duck as he went to tuck his little ones in. "Oink, oink, surprise," said the piglets. "You little scallywags, you're not my darling ducklings," said Father Duck. "Good night, my chicky chicks," said Mother Hen as she went to tuck her little ones in. "Bah, bah, boo," said the lambs. "You naughty scamps, you're not my chicky chicks," said Mother Hen. "Sleep tight, my precious piglets," said Father Pig as he went to tuck his little ones in. "Quack, quack, fooled you," said the ducklings.
"You fluffy tricksters, you're not my precious piglets," said Father Pig.
"You cheeky rascals, you little scallywags, you naughty scamps,
"You fluffy tricksters."
Off to your beds now, everyone." "Nighty night, my lovely lambs," said Mother Sheep with a loving baa, baa. "Not yet," said the lambs. "Tell us one more story, please." "Sweet dreams, my darling ducklings," said Father Duck with a fond quack, quack. "Not yet," said the ducklings. "We want 10 kisses each." "Good night, my chicky chicks," said Mother Hen with a gentle cluck, cluck. "Not yet," said the chicks. "We're thirsty."
"Good night, my precious piglets,"
said Father Pig with a tender oink, oink. "Not yet," said the piglets. "We have to wee, wee, wee." "No more tricks now. Settle down, snuggle up, sleep tight. Nighty night." And that is the end of the Rainy Day Stories.
Bolinda Audio hopes you enjoyed the reading of Play School Rainy Day Stories. Our audiobooks are hugely popular all around the world. If you really enjoyed this audiobook, make sure you introduce your friends to it, or even better, listen to audiobooks with your friends. If you want to hear more, there's more available online at bolinda.com, or you can write to us. If you like, we can forward your letters on to our famous authors and narrators. We know they are always happy to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and remember to always take a Bolinda audiobook with you.